Welcome to the October 15th board meeting. I'd like you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the national anthem. That's going to be sung by Nadia Altesi. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go ahead, Nadia.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing. A moment of silence for our troops that are abroad, keeping us safe, for our Nassau County Police Department, for our fire department, and for all our nurses and doctors. Okay, everyone could please be seated. I would be remiss to say that Nadia is secretary of the OHS Symphonic Choir, Honors Choir, and member of the SYNC Synced Oceanside High School Select Choir. Yeah. Natalie, thank you so much for that. I was supposed to give you an intro for that. Round of applause. We're on 4A, which is the audit finance statement review. Dr. Gerald Coakley.
Yes, thank you, President D'Ambrosio. Every year, a school district is required to undergo an external audit, which is a complete review of the prior year's financials, which would be the 24-25 school year. And shortly, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Christopher Schneider, partner from R.S. Abrams. But this report is very comprehensive. It looks at the revenues and expenses. It matches the assets and liabilities, and ultimately, it gives the district an overall fiscal position. In my opinion, this audit was once again very successful. At this point, I turn it over to Mr. Christopher Schneider, partner from R.S. Abrams.
Thank you, Jarrell. Again, thank you everybody for having me here tonight. My name is Chris. I'm a partner from R.S. Abrams. We are the external auditors for Oceanside School District. Again, what I'm presenting today is a summary of what we spoke about last week in a detailed audit committee meeting. So again, this will be very high level. Ultimately, the items that we'll discuss tonight will be available on the district's website. So for anybody who wants to read and take a deeper dive into that, you can feel free to do so. If you could go to the next slide, please. So again, there's 4 deliverables that we give as part of our audit each year. There is the district's financial statements as a whole. There is what we call an ECAF financial statement, or extra classroom activity funds. That's a summarization of the activity for all of your extra classroom activity clubs. Again, that is a state requirement to issue that financial statement. And there's 2 things that are required by our auditing standards, one being a management letter, the other being a governance letter. I'll get into those in a second. Most importantly, with the 2 audit reports that I mentioned previously, there are clean opinions, what we call unmodified opinion. That is the best opinion you can get. So again, the financial statements that we'll discuss here are all appropriately stated, fairly stated. We can rely on them for the purposes of these analyses. As always, I do want to extend thanks to Sam, Jarrell, the business office, and the whole team here. Again, audits are inherently not an easy process. They all handle it very well, answer our questions, so we are appreciative of that relationship. Next slide, please. So again, I mentioned some required communications per auditing standards. One of those is what we call a management letter. So that's one of the attachments that you board members have in front of you. What that summarizes is any areas where we think that there are potential for improvements. So we provide recommendations there. Again, there are a series of recommendations here. We've discussed these at length with the district. They are aware there are plans to implement these going forward. One item that I think is worth mentioning, because we've spoken about this before, and then I'll allow Dr. H. and Jarrell to speak to this, is this concept of unassigned fund balance. So again, from the state's perspective, there's a 4% limit of next year's budget that you should keep your unassigned fund balance at. The district currently is over that, but it is purposeful. They are purposely setting aside monies to be able to offset future tax amounts that would otherwise have to be passed on to the taxpayer. So I'll segue it over to you if you want to have any quick commentary on that.
Just, Dr. Coakley, you can remind the community why we have that money there.
Yeah, so approximately 4 years ago, the district was faced with a LIPA glide path, which was a settlement that was done with LIPA and Nassau County, not the school district. But since we do own parcels of land at the E.F. Barrett plant, we were presented with the financial glide path in a negative way, which was approximately going to have us lose over a period of 7 years up to 45% of revenue loss. So what Mr. Schneider is referring to is, in an effort to kind of absorb the tax revenue loss and not pass it on to the community, the district is intentionally exceeding the 4%, which is again the state's recommendation, in an effort to offset next year's amount of what we already know we are going to lose in revenue. And just to be fully transparent, if the district and the board did not take this action, ultimately this tax burden would be felt by the Oceanside taxpayer. So this is now the 5th year of a 7-year glide path that we have absorbed the impact of revenue loss. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Jarrell. Next slide, please. So the next 2 slides here are another one of our required communications, that being the governance letter. So again, per auditing standards, there's a series of things that I have to communicate to you. One of the items here are those long-term estimates that are in your financial statements. I won't go through them in detail because they are outlined here. If you go to the next slide. Another item here that we are required to communicate is when there are corrected misstatements. Again, the important thing here is that these were ultimately corrected. Everything that we're talking about here today is fairly stated, appropriate. You can rely upon it, and we can have these meaningful discussions about those financial results. Next slide, please. The next 2 slides, I'll just focus on this one for the general fund, just show a snapshot of your ending fund balance at year end. So for those of you familiar with the terms, net assets, equity, this is showing what do you have left over at the end of the year. The district has a series of reserves, which are what we'll describe as, in layman's terms, buckets of money you're able to set aside for particular purposes as per the state's guidelines. So again, each of these is set aside for a particular purpose with particular reasons to spend for eligible expenditures in current years and future years. Again, this is common practice for school districts. You want to set aside monies to be able to offset future expenses. To Jarrell's point, this allows you to not have to have taxpayers absorb those costs. You're able to use internal means to fund future costs. You could skip ahead a couple slides. I'll tell you when to stop and keep going. You can stop right here. So one back, please. So this shows a depiction of your activity within those reserve funds. Again, the district both used $11.3 million of your capital reserve. Again, as voters, you would have approved the use of these monies with the capital reserve, and then also was able to fund that capital reserve back, which again is a good thing. That means you're setting aside monies to be able to use in future years. If you could go a couple slides forward, please. Keep going. You could stop right there. Perfect. So the next 2 slides here that we'll go through quickly represent your revenues and expenditures for your general fund. Again, your general fund is your voter adopted budget, the one that you all would have approved in May of last year. So again, this is the results of those. You can see year over year fluctuations, both negative and positive. If you go to the next slide, you can see that from the perspective of expenditures. So again, what are the costs being incurred by the district? If you go to the next slide here, there are some quick explanations as to why things are going up and down. Again, your real property taxes, which is that tax levy that you're approving as part of the budget, did go up, as you would all know. You had increased interest earnings. Again, rates were up last year. They won't continue to be up necessarily in future years. And then there were some state aid amounts, again, which is the aid that the state provides you to cover your costs throughout the year. On the bottom of here of the slide, you can see fluctuations in your expenditures around instruction. You can also see around employee benefits. Again, the trends outlined here are common, or I should say typical of what we're seeing with other school districts on Long Island at this time. So with that, that's all I plan to cover for tonight. Are there any questions from the board or from anyone else in the audience?
Chris, I'll just say again that we had an extensive audit committee meeting, which did include 3 board members who serve on that, and the meeting was about 2 hours long, going through every single page and every single, question that could have been 3 hours. Thank you, I stand corrected, 3 hours long. And they asked some very important questions and got some very fine answers from you. I would also like to reiterate that this was Sam Santacor's first audit, and she did a phenomenal job under Dr. Coakley's leadership, so I want to recognize and thank her, and of course, the business staff as well. So, one of the things we're incredibly proud of is the fiscal stability that we find ourselves in, and it's a credit to the board's decisions that they've made over time. So we look forward to future years continuing to remain fiscally solvent. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this particular time, anything else? We're in good shape?
All good, that's all I
Okay.
have.
Dr. Coakley, would you like to make any closing statements?
No, just as a reminder to the community, the presentation, once accepted by the board tonight, as well as the district's response, which is called the Corrective Action Plan, both will be posted to the district website for public accessibility first thing in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Alrighty. We're gonna move on to 4B.
Yes, school board recognition. So October is annually the time of year where we get to recognize and honor our amazing school board. So I certainly can speak at accolades about how I feel about this board. I think the community knows that. But we are going to begin with the words being said by the ones that matter most, and that's our children. So I ask your indulgence to enjoy this couple-minute presentation done by the students at school number 8.
No. The Border of Education? I don't even know what that is. Yeah. People who decide on what you can do to help the school and helps it go smoothly. Helps make budgets and fund the schools to make everything possible. The Board of Education lets us kind of do whatever we want. We have abilities in our school, make clubs and everything possible.
If we need something, they can supply it to us.
The Board of Education keeps our school funded and also helps us make sure we have the essentials that we need to learn. Making new friends. Learning new things and making new friends. My favorite thing about this school is that everyone gets to work together and create a kind area and space. I like being with my friends and making new friends. I like that there's so much opportunities to do really good stuff. The student council and the school store, because they always have good stuff there. I also like those things. That it's really fun and you can make friends easily. Probably that it's a safe and fun environment, and I learn a lot here. And there's so much fun stuff.
How everyone is never left out.
How everybody can communicate to each other without kind of being afraid, and how there's a lot of different things that you have a lot of freedom and creativity.
Sure.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, to tell them that I'm thankful for what they've done.
So thank you, school number 8, for saying it better than any of us really could. So thank you, thank you. And I think, Dr. Zingari, we're going to find a way to make sure that those students get to meet different board members. We'll work on that. So now, to turn to our adult voices, we have a tremendously supportive and active PTA council that represents the leadership of PTAs throughout our district, and it is my pleasure to turn the microphone over to Ms. Stromer and Ms. Moran.
Thank you, Dr. Harrington. Just for a little spiel. My name is Kim Moran. I'm co-president of the Oceanside Council of PCAs. My co-president, Roaletta, is at the cheer competition at the high school right now with her senior. I have with me Tara Stromer. She is one of our secretaries on the council, as well as the middle school co-president. I just want to say on behalf of all of the Oceanside PTA units, all the families, to thank our Board of Education, Dr. Harrington, Dr. DeRosa, Ms. Brevito, Dr. Coakley, I'm going down my line, and Brian, who's new, our high school liaison, for everything you do for our children. We know it's not easy. Late nights, endless meetings, tough decisions, and yet you just keep showing up. You make sure our students have what they need, and you do it with heart. Because of you, our schools don't just run, they thrive. You support the teachers, the programs, the arts, the sports, all the things that make our schools feel like home for our kids, and that means a lot to us. So tonight we want to thank you. We left gifts on the table for you to show you that we appreciate you, and we thank you for having our students' backs every single day. And honestly, it's that kind of commitment that sets the tone for everyone, from our teachers to the parents to our children. It reminds us that we are anchored together, working towards the same goal, giving our students the very best. So here's to you. For the hours you give, the care you show, the heart you bring to this district, we are lucky to have you leading the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. First of all, Dr. Z, any of those kids vote? I just got to know, because if not, this whole board's going to come over to School 8, and we're going to talk to all of them over there, and we're going to just let them, exactly. It's up to you over there being a principal, so you got to let us know. And as far as the PTA is concerned, you know, we can't say enough accolades towards them. You know, we're here trying to make the right decisions, and sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We just try to go with what we go with. But the PTA does the heavy lifting. They really do all the things that we can't do, and that reaches out to every elementary school, the middle school, high school, the alternative schools. And you guys are the ones that are carrying the heavy water. You guys are making sure that you let us know what you guys need. And that's so important, because sometimes we get stuck in this vortex of watching the budget, watching where everything goes. And we never lose sight of the kids, but we work together with the PTA so close, and of course the OFT, but with the PTA to let us know what's going on and what you need. And all those car washes and the bake sales and the Halloweens and the Christmas and the Hanukkah and all of these events, these PTAs are all in the middle of it. And it's so good, because we know that any child that needs anything will never get left behind. And that's one of all the tributes that the PTA does. No child gets left behind. And we can say that up here, but you guys really carry the water. You guys do that heavy lifting. You guys make sure that any student that's got to go on a field trip or anything else got to get done, somehow, some way, that money magically appears. And I know a lot of you go into your own pocket, and a lot of you do these fundraisers, but without the PTA, we couldn't do what we do up here without you guys. So a round of applause for the PTA, please. We're at 4C, and we're so lucky. 2 years ago, the state made us get a school representative, government representative, and we had Dennis Yoshivaya last year, got their name correct, Seth, and now we have Brian Relusco. And Brian, you are doing a great job so far, so this is the part that you run the meeting with, and please, bring up your people.
Thank you so much. I would now like to invite up Matthew Coppell, Jeremiah McDowell, and Macy Bronner. The fall season at Oceanside High School has been filled with energy, pride, and community involvement. Students have adjusted well to their classes and are continuing to thrive both academically and socially. Oceanside football will be hosting Plainview JFK this Friday at 6 p.m. In addition, fans are allowed to go on the field after the game and take pictures and receive autographs from the players. Our Oceanside boys soccer team secured first place in their conference last night against East Meadow, winning 5-0. To start their playoff run in the playoffs, they play Plainview at home next Wednesday. Our homecoming week was a huge success. We had a large student participation throughout Spirit Week, the pep rally, and the homecoming parade. The parade featured members of student government, the cheer team, and the dance team, showcasing incredible school pride and teamwork. The homecoming game drew a large and enthusiastic crowd, uniting students, families, and alumni in support of our sailors. We hosted many local businesses, helping unite our community, as well as our annual homecoming barbecue.
In September, the annual club fair took place in the cafeteria, offering students the opportunity to explore more than 40 extracurriculars. Attendance was outstanding, with many students signing up for multiple activities ranging from service clubs to create arts and academic competitions, encouraging students to meet new people, explore their interests, and outside the classroom. We recently launched the first Sailor Station broadcast of the year, a student-produced program by Mrs. Bus Broadcasting class. The broadcast serves as a creative platform for students to express themselves, showcase their talents, and share important school updates. Beyond highlighting student achievements, the initiative also promotes a sense of belonging and inclusivity with the school community, giving students a voice and opportunity to contribute to the positive culture at Oceanside High School. Seniors have begun their preparations for graduation, with cap and gown sales taking place in the lobby, along with opportunities to order class rings to commemorate their time at Oceanside High School. Back to School Night was a success, which also held in late September, giving parents and teachers a valuable chance to connect as students settled into their courses. Teachers reported positive feedback to families, and many parents expressed appreciation in the way for new energy in the building this year. Academically, college representatives' visits have continued, providing seniors with valuable opportunities to learn about more potential universities and programs. Our guidance counselors have been diligently conducting senior meetings to ensure the students remain on track with their common submissions and recommendations, letters, and scholarship applications. In addition, counselors have begun working with juniors and sophomores to prepare them for upcoming PSAT and SAT programs, offering sessions through method learning to focus on test strategies and academic readiness. These efforts reflect the school's ongoing commitment to supporting everyone in their college applications.
The annual Halloween costume contest will take place at 7 in the cafeteria, giving students and staff a fun opportunity to showcase their creativity and school spirit. It's always a highly anticipated event that brings the building together in a festive way. The Powder Puff game will take place at 6:30 on November 3rd, continuing one of the Oceanside High School's favorite fall traditions. This spirited event features female students from different grade levels competing in a friendly flag football game, while many of the male students take on roles as coaches and referees. The game promotes school spirit, teamwork, and leadership, and always draws a large, enthusiastic crowd of students, families, and staff members. It's a fun and empowering way to bring the school community together and celebrate student involvement outside the classroom.
The district will also be observing a Superintendent's Conference Day, providing teachers and staff with a valuable time for professional development, curriculum planning, and collaboration to enhance the student learning experience. Variety show auditions will be held at 2:45 p.m. in the auditorium on November 10th, offering students the chance to display their artistic talents, from singing and dancing to comedy and instrumental performances. The event highlights the diverse creativity and spirit. Our Honor Society induction ceremonies are taking place this week and next week, celebrating academic excellence and recognizing students who demonstrate leadership, scholarship, and service. Thank you for your time.
Go ahead, Brian, still on. School 8? Okay. I take back everything I said about you beforehand. We're going to get Dennis back. Dennis is going to come back. That's what's going to happen.
Are you sure?
Go ahead.
At this time, I would now like to invite up school number 8 and the student council members.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education, teachers, families, and community members. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share the plans our student council has for this school year. We are proud to represent our classmates and excited to tell you about the ways we want to make school even better than it already is.
This year we have several important goals. First, student council will be running the school store. We know how important it is for students to be able to get supplies like pencils, erasers, and folders when they need them. We will make sure the store has what students use most and will keep prices affordable. Running the store also teaches us responsibility, teamwork, and how to manage money skills that we will need in years to come.
In November, we hold our officer elections. This is one of the most important parts of student council because it allows us to practice leadership and understand the democratic process. We are looking forward to hearing speeches from our classmates and watching them take on challenges of representing others.
Another goal we are excited about is working with the K-Kids Club to organize fundraising activities for our community. These projects give us the chance to help others while building school spirit. Whether it's collecting food for families in need, raising money through fun events, or making courage for people in our community, we know these small acts of kindness can make a big difference.
We also want to continue improving school lunches. Last year, students shared their ideas with the food service team, and we were able to make lunch more enjoyable. This year, we hope to keep those conversations going and add even more variety to the menu. One idea we are especially excited about is bringing back a special week that highlights the School 8 menu. This would feature students' favorites and could even include themed meals like Taco Thursday or breakfast for lunch. We believe that this will not only make lunch more fun, but also give students a chance to try new foods.
Another way we want to build community this year is by planning theme days. These are days when the whole school comes together around a common idea, like Pajama Day, Crazy Hat Day, Twin Day, or School Colors Day. Theme days bring excitement to the building, encourage creativity, and help everyone feel connected. We also want to connect theme days to special causes. For example, in March, which is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, we want to wear blue and yellow to show our support. We also want to celebrate our own school pride by having days where everyone wears blue and white, the Oceanside colors. These events not only bring joy, but also remind us that we are stronger when we stand together as a community.
These spirit days may seem small, but they make a big difference in how our students feel about school. They bring smiles, laughter, and happiness to our classrooms and hallways. Most importantly, they remind us that our school is not just a place where we learn, it's a community where we belong.
Overall, our council is dedicated to building school spirit, encouraging leadership, and giving students opportunities to grow beyond the classroom. We believe that by running the school store, holding elections, working with K-Kids, improving lunches, hosting special weeks, and organizing theme days, we are creating a school year filled with energy, kindness, and pride.
On behalf of the Student Council, thank you again for your time and for supporting our ideas. We are excited about the year ahead, and we can't wait to see all the ways our school will grow together.
Hold on a second there. Hold on, guys. You know what I'm going to go back to right now, November. I want to know about that election process. So how many... hold on one second, Don. So how does the elections work over there at School 8? So how many candidates are up there for president, vice president, and can someone explain that? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Someone go up to the mic and tell us.
There's two people who are in 6th grade, and then they can run to be president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary for the school.
And how do you vote? Do you put names in ballots and stuff like that in a box?
So first in November, we have a primary vote where just the 6th grade votes, and you can make it into the next election. And for that election, 6th grade can't vote, but 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st can vote.
Okay. So who's running for president, the two candidates, do we know? Okay. Good stuff. Okay, kids, thank you very much. I was just going to have a little thing about that. Let's get a picture with Dr. Z. Dr. Z, you want to get up there for a picture? Mr. Brano, you want to get up there too then? Perfect. bring your camera up there and we'll make sure we get a picture with Donna.
Ivy's the same height.
Okay, School A, thank you. All right, we're at public input. So at this particular time, opportunity for the comment on agenda items. Any audience member wishing to make a comment on any item that is on tonight's agenda can do so at this time. Anyone wishing to make comment on an item not on tonight's agenda will have the opportunity to do so later on in the agenda. While New York State law does not require us to hold a public comment period on agenda items, this Board of Education chooses to do so because we believe it's important to get input from community members on board agenda items. Please note that the board is here to listen. While everyone is encouraged to share their comments, please keep in mind that this is not designed to be a question-answer session. Again, comments should be directed towards the chair of the meeting, which is me. Anyone who wishes to speak should come up to the microphone, clearly state your name and your child's school. At this time, is there anyone that would like to make a comment on agenda items? Seeing none. We're at 6A, so let it be resolved that the minutes of the September 17, 2025 regular meeting be accepted for file as submitted. I'll take a motion.
Motion. Second.
Stu and Seth, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. B, acceptance of financial, resolved that the financial reports, treasury reports, transfer of funds, and internal claims audit review of warrants be accepted for file as submitted. Acceptance of the finalist report. The financial reports for tonight's meetings be accepted by the Board of Education include our monthly treasury report of receivables and appropriations for funds, the extra classroom activity fund report, budget transfers, and our independent claims audit report. The Board of Education has also reviewed the district's appropriation status report and revenue status report. All of these reports are public record and are made a part of the board's agenda every month. They can be found at our public meetings as well as posted on our school district's website. These reports reflect an up-to-date accounting of the school's district finances and expenses. The public is welcomed and encouraged to review them and ask questions. Once accepted by the board, the financial report documents will be filed for and subject to audit. I'll now take a motion to accept the financial reports to be filed for audit.
I'll make that motion.
Sandy
I second.
and Laura, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. 7A, we got it? Okay. 7A, approval for the use of facilities. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, Board of Education approves the use of facilities at the School 8 Auditorium Gym by Maria Mason of the Oceanside Chorale on December 14, 2025, for the Oceanside Chorale concert, as outlined in the recommendations filed with the records of this meeting. Board of Education approval is contingent upon the request providing the required information to the Department of Community Affairs. At this particular time, I will take a motion.
I move it.
Bob?
Second.
And Don. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're at 8A, so resolved,
No.
7B rather.
7B.
Oh, yeah. Resolved that upon the recommendation of School Superintendents, the Board of Education approved the use of facilities at School 7 cafeteria by Zoe Campanero of the C Social Chair for the Oceanside School District on November 10, 2025, for the Oceanside School District Friendsgiving, as outlined in the recommendation filed with the records of this meeting. Board of Education approval is contingent upon a request of providing that required information to the Department of Community Activities. I'll now take a motion.
Motion. Second.
Stu and Seth, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Now we're at 8A. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the attached professional personnel items be approved. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Sandy?
I second.
Laura, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Dr. Harrington?
Yes, Mr. D'Ambrosio, the board just now approved the resignation for the purpose of retirement for two of our teachers. And since they're retiring mid-year, I just want to make sure that they're mentioned. They will be asked to be part of our celebration in June. But Janine Garcia, who is a world language teacher, will be retiring as of the end of November. And Lisa Mayer, a long-term science teacher in OHS, will be retiring at the end of January. We wish them the very, very, very best.
Thank you, Dr. Harrington. On 8B, resolved that upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the attached civil service personnel items be approved. I'll take a motion.
I'll move it.
Bob?
Second.
And Don. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
Two quick
Dr.
things,
Harrington?
Mr. D'Ambrosio. First, again, for the purpose of retirement, we're going to be missing Sharon Hughes, who has been a nurse at our school too. But we're also adding a head custodian at Oceanside High School, a wonderful gentleman. We're very looking much forward to him being part of our faculty and our family, and a gentleman by the name of James Murphy. So we welcome him and wish him nothing but the very best.
Thank you, Dr. Harrington. 8C, resolved that the recommendations to the superintendent of schools, the attached hourly employee recommendations be approved. I'll take a motion.
Motion. Second.
Stu, Seth, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Dr. Harrington, anything? Good. 8D, resolved that upon recommendation of superintendent of schools, the attached list of DACA employee recommendations be approved. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Sandy?
I second.
Laura? Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're going to go on 8E. Resolved that upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools, the attached list of high school and middle school winter coaching staff, 25-26, be approved. I'll take a motion.
I'll move it.
Bob and Don. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. 9A, special education placement recommendations resolved that upon the recommendation of the CSE, CPSE chairperson, the Board of Education approves recommended placements and/or services as recommended by the CSE, CPSE meetings held in dates so indicated in the committee recommendation for Board of Education review with details dated 10/15/2025. I'll take a motion.
Motion. Second.
Seth and Stu, Stu and Seth, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're on 10A. Resolved that the Board of Education approve establishing the Mathematics Award of Distinction for 3 years, beginning with the class of 2026. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Sandy?
I second.
Laura, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. And 10B, resolved that the Board of Education approves establishing the Anthony Miola Scholar Athlete Scholarship for 3 years, beginning with the class of 2026. I'll take a motion.
I'll move it. Second.
That's going to be Bob and Don. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. On 10C, resolved that upon the recommendation of the School of Superintendents, Board of Education approves the purchase of two 2025 Ford Transit 250 vans, which were included in the 25-26 adopted and voted approved budget. The cost of each vehicle shall not exceed $110,800, which the Oceanside School District will lease through a tax-exempt municipal lease underwritten by M&T Bank or its wholly subsidiary or affiliate. At the conclusion of the lease, the Oceanside Union School District will own all affordable vehicles for $1. I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Stu?
Second.
Seth? Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're on 10D. Resolved that the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, Oceanside Union Free School District Board of Education accepts the results of the financial audit for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, as prepared by our independent auditors, A.S. Abrams and Company. I will take a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Sandy?
I second.
Laura, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Oceanside Union Free School District Board of Education accepts the results of the annual risk assessment for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, as prepared by the internal auditors, Navarosky Smith LLP. I'll take a motion.
I'll move it.
Bob, Don, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're on F. Resolved that upon the recommendations of the Superintendent of Schools, the Oceanside Union Free Board, School Board of Education accepts the results of the annual risk for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, as prepared by the internal audits of Navarosky and Smith. Did I just read that? Okay. 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 I'll take a motion. Stu?
Motion.
Seth?
Second.
Okay. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're on G. Resolved that the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, Oceanside Union Free School District Board of Education approves the Corrective Action Plan, CAP, in response to the management letter comments related to the financial statements, external audit, prepared by R.S. Abrams and Company, dated October 8, 2025, for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Sandy?
I second.
Laura, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. How we doing, Stowe? We're good? Okay. You get me a little nervous, that's all. Okay. Public content. Resolved that upon the recommendations of the Superintendent of Schools, the Oceanside Union Free School District Board of Education approves the Corrective Action Plan, CAP, in response to the current year observation and recommendation cited in the risk assessment internal audit prepared by Navarosky Smith LLP, dated September 26, 2025, for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. At this time, I'll take a motion.
I'll move it.
Bob?
Second.
And Don. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're on I. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Oceanside Union Free School District Board of Education approves the Corrective Action Plan in response to the audit findings, recommendation related to the capital projects audit prepared by Navarosky Smith, dated October 10th, 2025. At this time, I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Seth?
Second.
Stu and Seth, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're on J. Resolved that upon the recommendations of the Superintendent of Schools, as per the Board Policy 3113, 2 students be hereby permitted to complete 6th grade at School 9E for the 2025 school year, following the family's move to another school zone within the Oceanside School District. Transportation will not be provided by the district. At this particular time, I will take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Sandy
I second.
and Laura, any questions or comments?
Dr. Harrington, this is in conformance with board policy?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We're on K. Resolved 2025 updated student overnight field trips. Resolved that upon recommendation by the Superintendent of Schools and the following updated student overnight field trips be approved for the 25-26 school year. I'll take a motion.
I'll move it. Second.
Bob and Dawn, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. How we doing, Justin? We're in good shape? Okay. 11A, this is the opportunity for the, you okay? Okay. And we're at the number 11A, opportunity for the Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Harrington?
Yes, thank you, Mr. D'Ambrosio. Just a couple of things. I mean, we're on the heels of Halloween festivities. I think if you take a look at our district calendar, you could see that there's no shortage of events that our students can participate in, whether it's through our DACA, Kiwanis, local schools or our overall PTAs, SEPTAs. So please pay attention to the dates on the calendar and bring your students, your children down to enjoy these festivities. Also, the Scholarship Fund Phonathon will begin the week of October 20th. This is just a yeoman's effort that our PTA runs to raise direct scholarship monies for our students who will be graduating this school year. So please look forward to that, and we thank all of those who volunteer to participate well in advance. It seems a bit away, but November 4th is Superintendent's Conference Day. I can already guarantee to our board and community that it is going to be a very worthwhile professional development day for all of not only our teachers, administrators, but all of our faculty and staff. We put a lot of effort in making sure that the day is well prepared with the needs of these individuals kept in mind. So we look forward to that. November 5th, the following day, is the special meeting that the board will hold. This year we will primarily focus on an update of our special education programs since they run the gamut, and we're incredibly proud of the work that we've done in those areas. So we're in the process of getting that meeting ready. Also on that day, November 5th, we will be very excited to have our Castleton's Veterans Flag Ceremony. We do it as close to the Veterans Day actual date as possible, so we invite everyone who's available, 10 a.m. on that day, to join us out at the schoolhouse green. The other two things I'd like to mention have to do with special recognitions of two of our administrators. We really are blessed with an amazing leadership team, and these two individuals happen to be in the area of English language arts or literacy. So we're really very, very proud of Francesca Wasserman, who has been selected as a New York State English Council Educator of Excellence Award. She'll be given that this coming, actually in the next couple of weeks. And the very first ever Literacy Luminary Award given by Malloy University is going to our own Jessica Keegan. So I would like to acknowledge and recognize both of them.
Can they stand up, please? Where are they? If they're here, can they
Yes,
please
they are.
stand up?
I think the board knows that we really are so blessed by such talent and dedication, and we know it locally, but when it is recognized not only at extended local areas, but at the state level, it certainly is something we can be incredibly proud of. That concludes my report, Mr. D'Ambrosio.
At this particular time, with the Board of Education report, I'd start off by saying I'm proud to stand with my fellow board members. Next week, we'll be traveling to New York City. We have a New York State School Board Association conference that we'll be attending. It's really a 2.5-day conference that's built up between legal matters, lawyers conference. It's a lot of different issues that are involving New York State Department of Education, and it's really a packed week, packed 2.5 days, and I want to commend our fellow board members of giving their time up to attend this from their families, and I think it's incredible. The second thing is that I spoke to Amy from PTA Scepter, and that it's the trunk or treat on in 2 weeks on Monday night. From what I understand, there's almost 60 vehicles that's going to be given out to the kids. We're expecting between 1,000 and 1,500 children. That's going to be all over. So be careful traveling in that area between 6 and 8:30 on Schoolhouse Greens. It's always been a success, and we couldn't do it without, all the children in this neighborhood. And again, another true testament to the PTA, the special ed PTA, on doing a yeoman's job on protecting and servicing a lot of these children that really desperately need help. And another thing is that I know we mentioned that the boys came in first place. The girls just 2 hours ago beat Garden City 1-0, and they will be now seeded number one in their AAA conference, going to the counties. So going to the county competition. Hopefully they'll get there. So congratulations to the girls varsity, and I turn it over to my fellow board members. Anybody has anything to say? Sandy Scholl?
Yeah, I really don't want to end the night without thanking Dr. Coakley and Samantha, and also Sabrina. We spent, myself, Mr. Transom, and Mr. Maresca, we spent 3.5 hours with auditors, all kinds of auditors and bankers, and last week, and they had nothing but high praise for the work that these individuals are doing, and for the cooperation that they provided to these auditors. And the district is in really sound financial shape because of all your hard work and efforts. And Dr. Harrington, you get credit for that too. So, by the way, but I had to get to the other three first. And also, again, thank you for the tribute tonight to School 8, who represented all the schools, actually. And thank you for that. And especially to my comrades in PTA, thank you very much for your tribute as well.
Thank you, Mrs. Scholl. Anybody else? Mr. Maresca, go ahead.
Yes, does anybody else want to go first? Okay, I just have one thing to say. In fact, Brian said it very nicely, that the homecoming day festivities were quite a success. And it was a pleasure to be a part of it. And I had the opportunity to drive on one of the big trucks in the back with cheerleaders and the dancers, and it was outstanding. And I want to thank them for allowing me to do it, and I hope I can do it again. I also would like to talk about the halftime activity. The cheerleaders were just outstanding. The dancers were again outstanding, and also the marching band. What an improvement. And when I say that, the number of students now, it's almost doubled from a year ago. Our superintendent of schools, Dr. Harrington, had said that one of her goals or one of her objectives, am I correct, is to improve student participation with the marching band. And I'm telling you, it was quite a show and quite an achievement, Dr. Harrington. I would expect that next year it may be 3 times as big. Well, I can believe it. Also, thanks to Mike Vetter, the marching band director, and Chelsea Rosenberg, who's an assistant director, and also Marco Campanelli, assistant director. And I would like to say our football team won that game. I think it was against Port Washington. We won by a couple of touchdowns. I don't have the score, but they did a great job. The whole day was quite a success. And I want to thank the PTA for their recognition, and also school number 8 did a nice job, really. Thank you. That's it, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maresca. Bob Transom?
Just a couple of things. I want to congratulate all the fall sports teams, both at the high school and the middle school. They're both doing extremely well, and I'm glad to see that there's an upsurge down at the middle school. Couple things. The Oceanside Warriors are hosting a festival on Lawson Boulevard. It's next weekend. It's not this coming weekend. It's the following weekend, right, Mike? Is it this weekend?
I think it's this weekend. It's this
this weekend.
Yes. This weekend.
Saturday. 12 to 9 o'clock. Come on down. They'll have food, and there'll be a lot of booze that you can get entertained with and buy stuff, and just the community come out to show support. Oceanside Community Service is having a dinner at Alias Smith & Jones on the 6th of November. If you'd like to come, see Mrs. Luisi. She's the chairperson of that committee, and Mrs. Scholl. But the invites are online on our Facebook page. The turkey shoot's coming up. Beyond the Watch will be looking for turkeys to be donated for both Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And I usually they're dropped off at my house, and I take them over to the freezers at the high school. We are again offering Thanksgiving meals on Thanksgiving Day. Watch for the volunteer opportunities on Facebook. There will be some, but it'll be limited so that everybody will have a chance to give meals out. And if you haven't noticed, the construction's going well on the turf at both the boys' baseball field and the girls' baseball field. It will finish on time, and the construction work inside on the technology building is going on schedule. So, but you'll look for construction next year for the auto tech and the wood shop. With that, I'm done. Thank you, Mr. Ambrose.
Thank you, Mr. Transom. Laura, you have anything? Seth? Stu? And Brian, you got anything there? You in good shape? Okay, good. I would just like to go back just to one thing, to Dr. Harrington with the marching band. I know Dawn brought up, but Doctor, give us some little more insight of what's going on with the marching
I
band.
certainly appreciate the kind words, Mr. Maresca, but the truth of the matter is, you know, you need Pied Pipers, and those are the people with boots on the ground. So those are our teachers, the individuals that you mentioned. Of course, Mr. Fry Gould, I basically told him his tenure depended on the marching band increasing, so he did what he had to do. But I would also say that it was also the efforts of the Board of Education, even going back to your willingness to support new uniforms. And I know that sounds like might not be a big, but that was something the board did a number of years ago, and you committed to that. So you made a difference as well. So you really, it was a village effort. Let me put it that way. I'm so excited because we are up to just about 60 students now, which again, at one point we were down to maybe about 15 or 16. But we also, between that and our thespians, we now had the numbers. And the board just approved it tonight in the overnight field trips to be able to have our students actually participate in a wonderful program and actually perform in Walt Disney World in May. And that was clearly also an objective of mine as well. And so I'm very happy that we reached that. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a feeling, I have a feeling with you involved as a primary objective, it will double next year. We'll need a bigger field.
Thank God Andrew got tenured. Opportunity to comment on non-agenda items. This is public input at this particular time. Next is public comment on non-agenda items. This is the opportunity for anyone who wants to comment, make a comment of any item that is not on tonight's agenda. As I previously mentioned, state law does not require us to hold a public comment period, but this Board of Education does so because we believe it's important to provide the forum to hear from our community members about concerns and issues. Having said that, please note that the board is here to listen. Comments should be directed towards the chair of the meeting, which is me. While everyone is encouraged to share their comments, please remember that this is not designed to be a question-answer session. If somebody has a question that can be easily answered, we will do so. Otherwise, the appropriate personnel will follow up on any issue. Lastly, please remember that the board cannot and will not discuss personnel matters related to staff or students in the public. At this particular time, would anybody like to come up to the mic? Please state your name and your child's homeschool.
Hi, everyone.
Put the mic on? Just switch it up.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Jennifer Hennessy. My kids go to School 5.
Thank you.
We moved here around 6 years ago from New Jersey, and I'm very grateful to the school board and the community for the wonderful education that my children have been getting in this school district. You all were mentioning all of the amazing activities that are afforded to our children, and I just want to say thank you to the PTA specifically and also to the board for all of those opportunities that are available to all of our kids. My kids in particular are really enjoying their experience here at Oceanside. So I want to say thank you for all of that effort that you guys all put in. I do have a specific question in terms of what specific policies does the district have in place to protect undocumented students and their families? And also, what are the policies regarding immigrations and customs enforcement on school grounds? I am a first-generation American. My parents came here from a different country, and I have a particular affinity for immigrant students, and I am very concerned, and I just want to know what the district has in place in that area.
Dr. Harrington, would you like to?
Thank you
answer?
for that question. You should know that the State Education Department has published very clear directives and guidelines that all school districts are obligated to follow, and they are all done in the best interests of our young people in regards to your concerns. So one of the first things, first of all, they are not allowed on school grounds, and we would have to ask them to leave, and there's a process for that. Building principals know, the people who you stand at the front gates know, but we would have to take immediate action. We are told to direct any paperwork that's submitted to us goes directly to our school attorneys. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is it's almost a script of what we've been educated on, and in turn, we have educated our local building level administrators, and the state has a commitment to protecting all of our children across our state. I will say we've been very, very lucky here that we've not had to address that. I do know that's not true across even some of our neighboring districts, and it's sad, but it's just a reality. But I can assure you that we are well armed and prepared through the policy given to us through the State Education Department to protect our children.
Okay, I do know that there's a collaboration agreement between the Nassau County Police Department and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. So I'm just curious if there is an emergency or something where the police has to be called onto school grounds, like in terms of the collaboration with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, what takes place in that situation?
We will still follow the state guidelines. I'm not familiar with what collaboration you're referring to, but we would, our state mandate would take precedence.
Okay. And just another question on a different topic. In terms of, I've seen that there's been a lot of cuts to federal funding in education, and specifically in terms of special education. Federally, most of the high-level people in special education were let go recently. And so I wanted to know what contingency plans are in place in the school district for to make up for the shortfall that will be taking place in that area.
Well, I can assure you, and Dr. Hamilton on this question, but I'll assure you that our special needs children, our special ed children are never going to be affected. We will make sure that we take care of every child, no matter what it takes. And the Oceanside Federation of Teachers president is here, and we would never, ever put any child in danger. With that, I'll give it to Dr. Harrington, if you'd like to expand on
No,
that.
I will just have to say that it's fair to say that the funding is a concern to us. So far, though, our state has made a commitment to be able to continue to support the schools as they have in the past. But I don't think it would be honest to say to you that we don't have a concern about that. So we're monitoring that as closely as we can. As Mr. D'Ambrosio said, obviously, we would do everything in our power to make sure that none of our children lose in any way, shape, or form, but to also act as though we're not watching and waiting very closely would be not honest. So we will do everything that we can. And I know that our state government has made a commitment, but they also are, much of their funding that they in turn give to us in the form of state aid comes from the federal government. That's just the truth.
I understand.
Good.
And thank you so much for answering my questions, and I appreciate, thank you again to the board.
Thank you for coming up. Very
Thank
good
you.
questions, and we'd like to answer them. At this particular time, we'd like that the president of Oceanside Federation of Teachers, who we never met before.
I got to join the thank you party here.
Okay, go ahead.
With great gratitude, the Oceanside Federation of Teachers recognizes the board's contributions in sustaining all of our programs, our extracurricular activities, and for me, staffing. So we just want to let you know we really appreciate it. It's obviously Board Recognition Month, and I want to say thank you. We'd also like to give $1,000 to the Oceanside Community Services in hopes that they're going to continue the amazing work that they do. So thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you very much. At this particular time, we have any more, anybody else would like to come up? And a magic word, do I have a motion? Done. Good night, everybody. Safe trip home.